Welcome to Inside Taiwan. I'm Yvonne Netto. While campaigning for KMT legislative candidates in Kaohsiung, President Ma Ying-jeou once again denied meeting with bookmaker Chen Ying-zhu and lashed out at the DPP for its ambiguous stance on the allegations. The KMT presidential candidate was in southern Taiwan over the weekend to show his support for the KMT nominees and participated in the party anniversary celebrations. Ma condemned the opposition party for its negative campaign against his administration and urged the DPP to stop its smear campaign strategies.
KMT presidential and vice presidential candidate Ma Ying-jeou and Wu Dunyi campaigned in Kaohsiung, and their first stop was at the campaign headquarters of legislator Qiu Yi, who seeks re-election. When Wu saw the presence of former Kaohsiung County Magistrate Yang Qiuxing, he quickly notified Ma and greeted the guest. In a speech, Ma took out the party's legislator a large list to prove that the KMT truly attaches importance to the interests of minority groups. On another note, Ma took the opportunity to clarify his position in the controversial issue regarding his meeting with local gaming tycoon and bookmaker Chen Ying-zhu, stressing that he had not met with Chen on September 10th, as reported, and criticized that the DPP's discrepancies in accusations as the opposition party first attacked Chen and then claimed that Chen is a nice person. After delivering the speech, Ma and Wu went to the next appointment to support another legislative candidate. It was a busy weekend for the presidential candidates, but since the election is in the final weeks, candidates simply can't afford to leave their victory to chance.
Taiwan's first alternative school, the Forest Elementary School, continues to strive forward after 22 years of history. A special event was held today for prospective students, which attracted many interested parents over the weekend. In contrast to what outsiders may think, the school actually has very high expectations for both the parents and students. Let's take a look.
Taiwan's first alternative school, the Forest Elementary School, held an event to attract new students. Ms. Chen brought two girls that are still in kindergarten, attending an event for students that will enter the school next semester. Ms. Chen believes that this program will allow children to develop an interest in learning and develop responsible citizens. Ms. Lee also believes that the number of corporal punishment cases means that many schools don't allow children to interact with people who really care for them. She believes that this program is different and is worth the fee of 150,000 NT dollars per semester, which includes lodging. However, the school also reserves the right to select its students with high expectations and demands from its parents. After attending this meeting, the school in December will host a third course for parents. And during the winter break, there is a 2-week trial study program. In the final 2 days, these students will learn if they are accepted into the program.
There are about 1,500 patients suffering from hemophilia in Taiwan currently, which is a hereditary genetic disorder that impairs the body's ability to control blood clotting or coagulation. Therefore, in cases of injuries where a blood vessel is broken, the body lacks the ability to stop bleeding, with knee and joint injuries being the most common triggers for internal bleeding. Although there is no cure for the disease, recent medical advances have allowed patients to receive artificial clotting factors in order for them to lead a normal life.
"15-year-old Ping Chen looks professional when playing a violin. Although suffering from hemophilia since young and the frequent pain of internal bleeding in the knees prevent him from walking, he insists to practice for 2 to 3 hours each day to pursue his dream of one day becoming a violinist. According to doctors, hemophilia is a genetic disorder that disrupts the blood's ability to clot after an accident. Although there has not yet been a cure, patients with such disease can still lead normal and productive lives as long as they receive artificial clotting factor on a regular basis. The statistics show that there are about 1,500 patients with hemophilia in Taiwan. Therefore, doctors remind patients to pay attention to any unusual bruising or bleeding of unknown causes in children and make sure to seek immediate medical attention to minimize damage and prevent complications.
A special ROC Centenary Talent Show entered a climatic finale, rounding up 30 of the top teams performing from 10 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. The 12-hour performance and live broadcast attracted quite a large audience. Let's go take a look.
This is 11-year-old Wang Rongjian, who was born with autism, performing beautifully on this piano. While other actions may be difficult for him, he is talented at music, and from the age of 7, he has been playing the piano. The ROC Centenary iShow Talent Competition entered the final round, with Wang becoming one of the final 30 contestants. This competition included university students studying music, including one man who played the traditional female instrument, the pipa, performing the song Ambush from 10 Directions with a manner much different than women. Aside from the traditional songs, the pipa was also used as a key role in this performance of Carmen. This competition not only had music and dancing, but also traditional performances from 10 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. in the evening. It was a 12-hour event and broadcast that had performers from age 10 to 30, showing both creativity and artistic talent.
The Donglong Temple of Donggang in Pingdong County is the host of the so-called King Boat ceremony, during which the triennial sacrificial ceremony held is a well-known spectacle in Taiwan. The careful preservation of this tradition has been designated a national folk cultural heritage by the Council for Cultural Affairs that many of the local residents are proud of.
The Donggang King Boat ceremony organized by the Donglong Temple in Pingdong County lasts 7 days. Besides the pilgrimage, many of the rituals are carried out ashore. The spectacles of tens of thousands of worshippers on the beach and the boat burning on the sea show the unique essence and spirit of folk religions in Taiwan, making the event one of the greatest of its kind in the country. After a strict reviewing process, the Council for Cultural Affairs has decided to designate it as one of the country's important folk cultural heritages. The news excites local residents. Legend has it that the god riding the king boat is carrying out the patrol duties, but the god worship in the Donglong Temple has become a local guardian, which manifests the localization process of faiths and religions in Taiwan. As an immigrant society, villagers in Donggang share workloads in preparing for the festival, a practice that shapes a special community culture. Having been carried out for more than 3 centuries, the King Boat ceremony has now won national recognition as important cultural heritage. It could help the village to better preserve the traditions and make it the important town of the folk religion in Taiwan.
The second rice harvest of the year has been jeopardized by the continuous heavy rain this month in eastern Taiwan, while other traditional agricultural industries have also suffered. This has led the government to put forward a special subsidy program to ease the farmers' losses, though they are concerned that the government may be too slow with their appraisals. This has led many to quickly harvest their crops, even though the action may jeopardize their qualifications for the subsidy.
This year, the East Rift Valley's first and second rice harvest has been subject to unusually heavy rains. Farmers already lost with the first harvest, and they worry another loss will soon be upon them. Their complaints have continued even with Zhishan Township's recent rice harvest festival, as they recruited 400 people to go with them to the fields to help with the harvest. This harvest was given to a local charitable organization. Local citizens went to these flooded fields, with farmers worrying that their harvest is only half of normal amounts. With more rain expected next week, there's also the threat that this rice could germinate. For this reason, they harvested this rice even while it was raining. The government has already promoted a subsidy plan for these farmers. However, many farmers worry that applying for this aid may be difficult, with appraisals proceeding slowly, and the threat that they may not receive compensation. The Taidong County government will request each township and village authority to quickly appraise each case. If they can't wait till clear the fields or harvest the crop, they should take photos as evidence. Rice in the East Rift Valley has been subject to unusual weather and big losses. This year's Rice Harvest Festival has been tainted with sadness, as many gather at the Land God Temple to pray for good fortune next year and a break from this year's unusual weather.
Hualien City is said to have the largest population of Hakka people in the region, of about 35,000 people, which is almost 1/3 of the overall population in the city. The Hualien City office recently organized the first ever Hakka Cultural Festival in hopes of fostering a sense of community for Hakka descendants living in the city.
The Guzheng performance by Zhuqiang Elementary School lifted the curtain on the Hakka Cultural Festival, organized by Hualien City. The program of the event included a variety of singing and dancing shows performed by Hakka communities across the Hualien County. Although the performances were quite common in other Hakka communities, this festival was especially meaningful to residents in the Hualien City since it was the first ever Hakka cultural festival in the city. One of the highlights of the event was a culinary contest of Hakka gourmet dishes. Participants tried their best to create the most delicious recipes, including traditional Hakka dishes, rice noodles made of healthy ingredients, and desserts with creative twists. There was a DIY session on making bamboo cicada and a photography exhibition on Hakka architectures in Hualien. According to the city office, it helps to foster a sense of community of Hakka descendants in the city and preserve the traditional culture.